Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike, and today we are showing you a video that we have pre-recorded with Pampa, a Cronos chain ambassador. We put some questions to Pampa about the state of the Cronos ecosystem, what projects you should look out for, and where to start if you are a beginner. Now, this is a fairly lengthy interview, and the aim of this interview is to shed some light on the Cronos chain and its potential. If you are a Cronos chain project, please reach out to us in the comments or DM, and we will make videos about your projects and help try to promote you. And a massive thanks to Pampa for coming on and spending some time with us and giving us a really good insight. I hope you like this interview as much as we did. Before we begin, however, can we please ask you to like and subscribe to Crypto Warehouse and help us grow the channel?
Well, hello and welcome, Pampa. Could you give everyone a brief introduction about you?
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. My name is Pampa. So I'm a Cronos ambassador. I've been with Cronos team for almost a year now. I've been an active member of the Cronos community, user of the application, and basically just trying to help people wherever I can and builders.
Perfect. Okay, well, just a quick thought. How did you end up becoming an ambassador of the Cronos chain? Did you apply for it? Did they approach you?
That's a long story because when I came back this new crypto cycle, I ended up doing detailed research where to put my initial trust in, and I ended up with Crypto.com. After I've been with Crypto.com, they launched their Cronos chain. So I was a Crypto.com kind of very active community member, but once they started the Cronos chain in 2021, I believe, I decided to get into this decentralized finance because I wanted to learn, I wanted to experience, and I've seen a few, I would say communication issues in that chain and in the builders, and I thought I think I can help to do this, because even in my work life I see departments when they don't communicate with each other, and sometimes you see that things are stalling, and I thought I see this problem and I wanted to help, and in order to do this efficiently, I thought it would be good to have the communication channel on both sides. So I heard the builders, I heard the community, but I couldn't really talk to the Cronos, the developers. So I thought, I seen the Cronos advertisement with the name of the Cronos ambassadors, and I applied for it to just have this extra edge in what I was planning to do. And they invited me to an interview. That was quite a lengthy break between my application and their invitation. But after a few months, they invited me. We had a conversation similar to this. They asked a few questions. It was a very friendly tone interview, nothing really technical. I think they just wanted to know my nature, wanted to know who am I, and then they invited me to be part of the team. Brilliant. So I think that was in 2023, somewhere in quarter 2, quarter 3, and ever since I'm trying to have the chain as a Cronos ambassador. But I was doing very similar work without the ambassador title previously anyway, so it was just an extra edge to have the community.
And it's nice to be recognized for your hard work as well. Exactly.
Yes. I get loads of feedback from community, and to be fair, that's one of the best part of being an ambassador is just to get the positive words, and I really like it. It's really has a motivating effect on what I'm doing.
Perfect. Okay. Right. So, what do you think about the current state of Cronos?
The current state of Cronos is, with the best possible words, it's hopeful. I would say we are definitely not in our best state. Even looking at the charts, looking at the last bull peak, we are really just a shadow of that, both in transaction amount, active addresses, which is a sad metric, because if I look at the other metrics, that how much we improve both in speed, in the technical details. I do think we are in a better state than we were. I think it's mainly the bear market was. I think it was horrible. I didn't expect this bear market to be this bad. I've been through one bear market, and I thought, it's not going to be that bad, and it just. I think it was worse.
Yeah.
And Cronos started on the peak. And when you start on the peak, there is only one way to go. And builders did not expect this. I don't think, even though I do think Cronos Labs has very good analysts, and Crypto.com has very good analysts, because some of the things they predicted way before anyone when they started cutting stuff, which obviously it has a very negative feedback, but looking back, it gives me a positive vibes because they started before anyone. So I don't think even they expected to be this bad.
No.
And so yeah, we are basically in a state when when a soldier just finished the war, and we are bleeding, we are wounded, we are but we are alive, and I think that's what matters, because many didn't make it, and I think we are in a state when we are rebuilding. We don't have the users we used to have. Their sentiment is, I would say, probably one of the worst I've been. But again, that would be a bit unfair to say, because I experience from the top to down. So it's obviously we need to reach this state at some point if we are going down the hill. There are things which we need to improve, but I am, as I said, I'm hopeful, because there are things are coming. ZK EVM is coming. I see some builders are coming back. I see some positive results from the chain as well. Just recently, this meme mania. Actually, I never seen this before on Cronos, so it caught me off guard that we have this meme. This popular, and even though I used to be against meme coins, I realized how powerful they are when it comes to bringing users in. So yes, I'm hopeful, but we are not at a good state. But hopefully, we will be in a better state.
No, I mean, just wanted to add to that. That was my third bear market, and this has by far been the worst because of where we came from and where we went to. But the one thing I've said in many videos that I've made, about projects based on your recommendations, is this current situation we're in with Cronos, it gives me Solana vibes, because I was in the Solana NFT field when we went through the crash. If you said to anybody that you were on Solana, people would laugh at you. That's the situation we were in. And I get the same feeling from Cronos, is you have to trust the process. We are 4, 5, 6 years away from potentially having fully penetrated retail and got them on board and things like that. And you have to build, even when you're putting up walls and they're falling down, you have to keep putting the walls back up. You have to build. And I'm the same with meme coins as well. 2 years ago, I thought they were the scourge of crypto. Now I understand that meme coins are they're the gateway crypto to adoption. So I am fully on board with everything you've just said. I completely agree with it, which is why we're hopefully making these videos on the projects and the meme coins and Wolfswap and Crow and everything else that we're covering, is to try and highlight the fact that there are more chains out there than Solana, for example. But I digress.
All right, well, what do you think the main reasons are for people to use Cronos? Like, what are the main drivers for adoption?
The main drivers for adoption, well, on a global scale, I would say right now it's these couple of few days is the speculative investment. Even I would say it's constant, but nowadays it's even more true because of the meme coins. It's all speculation, and it brings so much attention, so many more users. So right now it's speculative investment, and that's always true. But yeah, right now is absolutely. Second, I would say it's financial inclusion at the moment because of the institutional interest. follow because, but that comes from the regulatory developments in Europe and in the US, because I think that was stalling for way too long, and it was holding back crypto adoption a lot. But now that they are actually making it a bit more understandable, and they are actually making progress, this, I wouldn't say the SEC making progress, but now they are forced to make actually progress. All these ETFs being approved. So regulatory developments led to financial inclusion, and that led to, I think, more adoption.
Yeah.
Sorry. And that also brought corporate adoption and institutional interest. I would say these are the main drivers right now.
And crypto. Sorry to interrupt. Isn't Crypto.com the most regulated crypto business in the world? It's got the most licenses, hasn't it?
Yes, arguably, because I've seen some others that they have more. But I do think the other day I started counting and tried to compare. It's a bit difficult because it's really not my area of expertise. But I seen Binance did share some similar post about these regulatory, and I think they are also doing so. I would say to stay on the safe side, I would say one of the most, but if not most. But I wouldn't want to say the most because I'm not 100% sure, and then it can change because other centralized exchanges are also picking up the pace because there is loads of potential in this. In this market. So I would say these are driving the adoption. What I still feel we are lacking is the public awareness and education. I don't think that's very good because even from an anecdotal point, whenever I try to talk to people, I rarely find people around me to actually talk about it. They heard something from the news, but they can't really put too much input into that. The other thing is security and transparency, which is still, I think it's not good. I still, on centralized exchange, it's better. But for example, I'm still waiting for my Cryptopia refund from 2017-18 hack. And that's just so sad. I lost some tokens and they still sending me that, one day I might get it back. So that's not a convincing way to tell people that your money is at a safe place. I think it's much better now, but it's still decentralized on DeFi. It's still, I think it's still a jungle. I still think if someone goes into DeFi, they need to prepare for everything. It's a wild west. So I think we are still lacking on that part. I think these are holding back the adoption, the public awareness, the technological advancements, security and transparency.
Good answer.
Well, my next question is probably, what do you feel about the relationship between Crypto.com and Cronos as it goes forward?
Oh, the relationship. Do you mean me working with them, or the community, or they working together?
Yeah, I mean, more like, obviously Cronos chain was it was set up by Crypto.com, and then they split up, didn't they? So Cronos is now, it stands on its own 2 feet. So in the next couple of years, how do you see the corporate Crypto.com? How do you see that interacting with the Cronos chain? Because obviously they have their incentives, they have their I think they have a bursary scheme for projects that want to build on Cronos. How do you think the interaction between the two is going to work?
Ooh, that's a $1 million question, and it's a very good one, because from this my perspective is purely speculation, because I see both pros and cons. Sometimes I feel like Crypto.com, sometimes I feel like I don't think it was planned to separate them. I think it was just a quick, desperate decision because when these regulatory advancements came from, I think, the Security Exchange Commission to crack down on crypto, they realized they have this weak point, CRO, which was a huge weak point, and then they quickly separated. And the fact that they didn't get under the radar suggests me that it was a brilliant move.
Yes.
So if that led to avoiding, because it did hold back other projects a lot, but I think because it was a quick decision, I do think they couldn't really do it in a well planned way. So I think it brought some difficulties for them. That's just a speculation from my side, because I really can't see anything between them. It's just simply some things I imagined, because one of the main factors to build on Cronos, even though it's a very good chain with very good metrics, very good technology, the main motivation to come to Cronos is that there is a centralized exchange behind it with 100 million users.
Yeah.
And any builder they go to that because of that in the first place. And yet, if you go there, you don't really feel like that you are being supported by 100 million users. You don't really feel like that Crypto.com is really pushing their users to Cronos. And that's my personal feeling, that in long term, they should. In short term, they probably why would we send users to Cronos if we can also benefit from run on a centralized exchange? Which is in my mind, it's logical. But I think in long term, the way they could keep those users is to really support the whole Crypto.com and Cronos, because it would be a full pack. People wouldn't really need to go to any other chain if they would be fully supportive with each other.
Absolutely.
And that was the DeFi wallet suggests me, because once you connect your Crypto.com account to your Cronos DeFi wallet, everything is so smooth. You can send back and forth crypto without actually any concern, because your wallet is there. You can't send it anywhere else. If you send it to a wrong place, then there is a technical team who can who can help you to get your money back for a fee. But still, you at least have a chance. So you can almost enjoy everything in DeFi with the security of a CeFi. But yeah, at the moment, I don't feel like there is 100% symbiotic relationship between them. And if I would need to guess, I think it's because they had to separate so quickly in a rush. I don't think they managed to do it in a proper way. So I think that's still something which they need to work on.
Yeah.
I see some signs for that they also support, and I see some signs against it. But that's really just my speculation without having information from any of their teams, because they are quite closed. So yeah, that would be my. I think in long term it will be good, but it's still. I think it still needs time for that, and they still need to work on this. Probably if you are gonna be in the bull market, and it will bring more improvements on that side, which I'm hopeful again.
Okay, brilliant answer. Okay, we'll move on to the next question.
All right. Well, what do you think the strongest sector of Cronos is, like memes or NFTs, that kind of sphere?
That's a difficult question, but I would say from technical part, I think they are pretty balanced. So they're offering space for anyone. So I would say the best part is where the best builders are. So I think when Cronos launched, which I would both consider a slight mistake, there are many NFT launch. There were so many NFT launch pads, and so many builders launched NFT launch pads, which, in my opinion, it makes it difficult for the chain, because if you have 300 NFTs and launch pads, that creates such a strong competitive environment. Many people, 90% of them won't survive, which also creates a be difficult, but the 10% which survives, they're going to be a pretty strong project.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened on Cronos. The few NFT projects and Launchpad which survived, they are very strong. And I think you made a video, and every time someone asks me the best project on Cronos, I need to say Abyssus, because they not just came up as a winner compared to other builders, they came up as a winner even against Cronos Labs. So Abyssus has better metrics than even Minted, which is I usually try to avoid compare, but in this case I have to highlight it because that's not something people can achieve or many achieved in the past, and that's one of the best NFT gamify launchpad which has a DEX now, and it's just growing so big, and it has keeps the chain alive. So yeah, NFT launchpads or Abyssus is very strong. The DeFi is really strong. That's from the other hand because that's a Cronos incubated project, very very simple finance, and that's actually pretty strong. It has, I don't have the number, but it's I think it's like 200 million TVL,
which is not small compared to lots of other chains.
Yeah, yes, and they provide loads of other services. So you have swap. You can provide liquidity. They also have some NFTs to boost your liquidity. I'm trying to check. 123 million at the moment, and they have a market cap of their token of 163 million, which is, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty important, regardless of what people feel about Cronos Labs project. My personal opinion, and I'm trying to be objective here as much as possible, if we wouldn't have very very simple finance, we wouldn't be on the map. And that's important. We wouldn't be on DeFi Llama. We wouldn't be on other. And if a builder goes to these statistic websites and they see, okay, Cronos is on the map. Cronos is a top 15, top 10 by TVL. Then they say, okay, there is money. I'm gonna go there. And so I think it's important to have these big projects because. Without them, we wouldn't be on the map, and we wouldn't be in the sight of anyone.
No,
so,
absolutely.
So yeah, DeFi NFT launchpads are pretty good. I wish, because that's my area of really interest. I'm a gamer, and I really want to see more gamified projects on Cronos. I really do, and I see some actually building a pretty nice games. Probably they are still waiting. They are still cooking, but I think we will be good on gamify parts as well. For now, I think the biggest one is Loaded Lions, which is a pretty good one. I would say with 1,300 players at the moment, which is not bad at all.
No, I've seen your tweets about it. I was going to mention Loaded Lions, but you beat me to it.
Sorry.
It's okay. Right, I've got loads of things to say, but I'm trying to keep the interview on track. So I'm not gonna say anything. But that is again another good answer.
All right. So let's say you were someone completely new to Cronos. You never really looked at it before. Where would you go about looking to start?
Now that's another interesting questions, because I just recently, so people reach out to me to help them to spread awareness of their project, and I was a bit skeptical of these kind of projects. It's community projects, which means you create a Discord and you want to provide a place for community. And the reason I was a bit skeptical, because in the past when someone tried to create something like that, the primary target was not the community behind it. And because if you gather a large amount of people, that comes with power. But same with the meme coins, I need to pivot and change my opinion about this, because I think an honest project which really targets the community, and the secondary is the actual lucrative parts of it, then I would say it's okay. And because it's in DeFi, we need a safe space. And I think if someone is new and someone wants to come to Cronos, I think they might. I think it's a good idea to target one of these community projects, because at least they can land in a safe haven. So we have two at the moment, and those are Cronos Connect, which is I think it's supported by Wolfswap. So they are being developed, and they have a Discord channel where people can join. And what changed my mind recently about these community projects, that they're developing a guide notes. They're developing like a knowledge base, how to prepare against scammers, how to recognize them, and I really loved that. I really love that because if you go there, you have better chance for survival if you arrive to a DeFi, because it's a more or less a safe space.
Yeah.
Of course, scammers can get into Discord, but there are people to deal with them.
Yes.
So, and the other one is the Cronos Cabal. These are two Discord projects developed by two people, and I contacted both of them, and I suggested them what if they would merge and just provide one big safe space, and then builders could implement their own little rooms there, and if they decide to visit the actual project, then they can just move from there to their Discord. So I think this could work really well for newcomers if it will grow bigger, and they implement more security steps, which they are doing already. So I would say if someone comes to Cronos Chain, Cronos Connect, Cronos Cabal, check their project, and maybe in the future it's actually grow into big, and they're gonna be some kind of official landing page for the newcomers. They can go to project as well directly, but I think it's good to have like a community page.
Absolutely.
And there is a web page called discover.cronos.org. That's where you can actually check all the whitelisted projects on Cronos, if you want to.
All right, what we'll do is we will leave all of the links that you've mentioned so far. We'll leave them all in the description below, whether it be to the various projects themselves or the landing pages that you've just mentioned. So all of the links that are in here, you don't have to scribble them down. We will put them in the description below.
Okay, so going on to the gold standard of Cronos, we've got 5 pillars. What projects are you putting up there?
5
gold standard. I think I already mentioned a few of them, but it's there are loads of projects on Cronos which I consider a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And if I would need to put 5, and again I need to start with my personal favorite, and also who I think achieved a lot, is Ibisus Bay. It's just very difficult to describe it even in this short period of time, how many things they already achieved, how many things they are developing right now, and their future plans. So Ibisus Bay, again, I mentioned, but I would say very, very simple finance for their capabilities, for the large liquidity, one of the best trading platform. And the third one is, I would say, Wolfswap. Again, we talked about them, and I think they are very good. Not just because they're building very fast. So they actually recently started or came back to Cronos. I think they came back to Cronos, and they are implemented so much on the chain. Sorry, just need a sip of coffee. Yes, and they are also an aggregator, so they are not bordering they are not a competition to the exchanges. They are just aggregating, which I actually use it because I'm both on, for example, Ibisus Bay and very, very simple finance, and just doing a quick trade. If I don't even remember where my tokens are, it's just easier to go to Wolfswap, and it's just doing it for me for a small fee. And they also have competitions. They also extremely strong they have an extremely strong online presence. I think they understood the best from other teams how important it is, for example, to be active on X. I see how I think they even reward people who actually active on their X, which I think it's a very good idea, and more people should be more projects should be approaching, because that's how you get so much advertisement. The fourth one, I think it's the Boomers.
Boomer Squad, is it?
Boomer Squad, Boomer Squad, sorry. Yeah, they recently started their new meme token push. So they are behind the push the button. And the reason I would highlight them is as not just because they're good and out of respect, but they are one of the few who almost did not have any slowdown during the bear. I've seen many projects went to a halt, hibernated. They did not stop, but they kind of I wouldn't say abandoned, but they slowed down a lot in development. Yet Boomers are pushing out developments, and I know because I do my Cronos news every week, and I go 50-60 projects every week, manually reading them, and almost not a single week when there was nothing. They always put something there. They always put some news. So they are in my Cronos news because they always put something there, so I can talk about them, which makes even my life much easier, because so they have these standards they need to follow. So I think they deserve to be highlighted. And the fifth one, I would say Loaded Lions. They are not just for me, but for many Crypto.com users, was the kind of entry to the DeFi. I think they are probably one of the best examples when I think Crypto.com shined how to introduce people to DeFi, because at one point you had to move your Lions to the DeFi wallet to be able to play, and I think that for many people that was the very first step. I've seen the confusion and the difficulties, and I've seen that's and I think that was, but in a better, probably next time it's gonna be a bit more better landing. They provided support, but I think many people struggled that time. But they ended up on DeFi, so I would say that's a success. And also they even though they have obviously they have capital behind them, but they did develop a playable, subjective opinion, pretty web browser game. I do hope they will develop it further. I do ask them, stand to them, VR, AR, AI, all these things, which I think it would be a huge improvement on the game. Mobile, Android, iOS. I think it would add a lot to the game, and I'm pretty sure at some point in the future they will develop. And they achieved that game during bear market as well. So, which even though they are a corporate, they were hit hard as well. So they are no exception of that. Of the bleeding section. So I would say these five, which on top of my mind, if you ask five, but there are many more who is very convincing. There are many more who is still building and about to come out with their product. So I would definitely keep an eye on these projects. There are many gamify projects are also building hard in Unreal Engine 5, which is not a not a small thing to achieve.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I think they're
brilliant picks.
Yeah, they are brilliant picks.
And we'll leave the links and whatnot in the description if you need more information about that. But actually, I think we should quickly one more question to go back to the new people come to Cronos. What 3 tips could you give them, small or big?
Oh, sorry. What 3 tips of?
People starting out in Cronos.
Oh yeah. If you start on Cronos or in crypto in general, and try to join to a Vanon safe community very first, regardless of your experience. Learn and educate yourself every day. if you are to invest, then definitely start in small and diversify. That would be my first 3 quick tip for anyone who's joining crypto or to Cronos.
Absolutely, I totally agree. You're reading from the same hymn sheet that we always talk about on this channel. Start small, educate yourself, keep your funds on the exchange, no matter what people tell you, and put your toe in the water. Exactly how it should be done.
Yeah, I think we are repeating this every day to each other, even though we are here for long. It's a good reminder. It's a good reminder.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Okay.
All right, well, thank you so much. I think the last thing I'd say is, do you have anything else you want to say to the Cronos community on this video?
Oh, I have a lot to say to the Cronos community, but just to keep it short, I really love the community, and to be fair, without them, I don't think Cronos would really exist. Especially the hardcore layer who has been modding the chain up is unquestionably the best part of this journey. I learned so much, laughed so much, I argued so much with people, but I enjoyed every part of it. I think if I would highlight one thing that I definitely not regret in my crypto journey is that the people I get to know and the friends I made during this time. And I would highlight just a few names because I think they really deserve to be highlighted, and that's the first person I'm really look up to is Chilla. She's a Crypto.com ambassador. We have been working together for quite a long time, and she's the kindest and most giving person I know in the community. She has been helping everyone behind the scenes so much. I don't think people see that how much work she puts in this community. And I think second one, Crypto Diamond. I really like his attitude, and because he has been with us. He's a major investor in Loaded Lions, and even though things went south after, obviously, the start of the peak, his leadership skills and the way he's leading the community still with always in a positive manner, I think that's something we should all learn from. Edekar, he's a project manager of the Boomer Squad, and he's the most active bearder on Cronos, I think, without any break or stop. He's working so hard, and he kept pushing and kept bearding, even those times when things are bad, when there was, as you said, he's the typical example who is bearding the war, and even if it collapses, he's bearding it back, and I think we need these kind of bearders, especially when there is no reason to have hope. We still need to beard. And the last one I would say, I wanted to highlight Shwiz or Nathan. He's the project manager behind Ibisus Bay, and the same as Edekar. I think these are the two bearders I consider the two best bearders on Cronos, and they are setting an example for other bearders that I think they and we should all be following. So thank you. That's my message for the community and their brilliant members.
Well, you've missed one person off that list, and that is you. I have followed several of the people that you've mentioned, and the only person, I mean, not saying I don't listen to them, but the only person I read the tweets of and the weekly updates of are you, because without people like you throwing the spotlight on these projects, you've introduced us to Ibisus Bay and Wool Swap and some of the meme coins that we've covered on this channel, and we're going to try and cover more Cronos projects on this channel. Without you, we would never have probably found these projects as quickly as we did. So as well as thanking those individuals, you should also take an awful lot of credit for being one of the shining lights of Cronos. And I know you're not bashful, but you're not the kind of person to put credit on yourself. But from our point of view, you're the first person we look for on Cronos. So we are very grateful for you to spend some time with us and introduce you to our community so you can talk about your passion. So let's not end the interview without you getting some credit for the hard work as well, Pampa.
Thank you very much. It means a lot to me, and I'll take all the credit. Thank you. No, it means a lot to me, and that's what really motivates me. It really feels good. Really feels good to be recognized, and any positive word, it fuels me to do what I'm doing, and it's a good feedback that I'm doing something right, and that's good. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Oh, well, hopefully in the next few months. If you're free, we'll get you on. Maybe we'll interview you a couple of times a year so you can update us all. And we'll make sure to continue trying to do our bit to help Cronos as well. But with that being said, thank you, Pampa, for your time. And we look forward to seeing you in the next interview.
Thank you too. And I'm more than happy to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, what a great interview that was. Thank you, Pampa, so much for everything you've told us. Your knowledge and experience of the Cronos chain is incredible. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Crypto Warehouse, and don't forget to reach out to us if you are a Cronos chain project. We will be more than happy to interview you for the channel or carry out a review of your project. As always, you have been great. I have been Mike. Until the next video, goodbye.